Alright, so we're back, guys. And since I embarrassingly forgot to install Marvel 3, Marvel UA 3, we are going to continue with Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage.
But I'm still going to talk about Marvel shit, because
I got notes, damn, I need to talk about them.
Well, especially something that I saw earlier today. So, I don't know if you remember, and so here's something that dates back to around 2010, 2011. Remember when someone tried to do a Spider-Man musical Broadway show?
Like?
Yeah, I do remember this actually.
Somewhere warm.
Yeah,
somewhere
and
sunny.
how like people got injured and
yeah.
just
I
they
haven't
were
been
trying
there
to
since
do
we
something
kicked
that
nasty
theater
York's
was
butt.
not made to do.
How about it, Sparks? You up for a vacation at the beach?
Meanwhile, Spyro here is
Last one
going to
there's
try to
a
get a
Nork.
vacation in. It's a rainy day and he doesn't want to stay out in the rain.
Or he could go inside. Then again, I don't know what
when
else
the
they
beach vacation is literally a portal away, why wouldn't you,
Professor?
I guess, yeah.
Almost.
Sure, why
Just
not?
a few more adjustments to these orbs and...
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Bringing a dragon here could just make Ripto more angry.
I don't think it's
Hunter.
bad.
It's
I mean,
No.
But you saw the professor's book.
Kind of worse
They
in
have
third
claws
game.
like this, and teeth like this, and they can spit fire
When you
like
could-
this.
Go ahead.
when you consider what they had
They
to work
sound
with,
much more
Yeah.
dangerous than Ripto.
and
That's
like
exactly the point.
you know, you look at those original models, and
Ripto, and you know it.
it's like
Working.
that shit is acceptable at that time, and with that tech.
I will say that the animation quality is definitely like a lot. Making sure the characters feel like they're actually doing
Whoa,
things. Like in the
rough
original
landing.
version of this scene,
Hi,
Hunter
which
looked
way's
kind
the
of blasé
beach?
the entire time.
Yeah,
Even as
because
he's doing
Hey,
the
stop staring.
claws and
Haven't you
teeth
guys
thing,
ever
'cause
seen a
they
dragon
don't have
before?
claws because it's a PS1 model and
You're
they
a
can't do that.
dragon?
You got a
Yeah.
problem with that pussycat?
So like they definitely did a lot of making it feel more like
Someone forgot to invite
more
me to
cinematic.
the
'Cause
party.
not the term I want to use, but it's the term
Were
that
you
comes to
trying
mind.
to keep something from me?
I think it's do they still have Tom Kenny for
A dragon?
Spyro, or
Yes.
You brought a dragon
they
to
brought him back to do
Avalar?
the performance
I
walkthrough,
hate
even though he
dragons.
wasn't in the music.
Yeah!
no? Because the first one was where you had Carlos Ellis Rocky.
Yeah.
Crush! Kill it! Kill it!
We've had a bit more like
Yeah, I mean, granted, like Carlos Ellis. The only other thing I know Carlos Ellis Rocky for is he was the fucking. He was in those notorious
I'll deal with you later!
Taco Bell Chihuahua dog commercials that they had.
right?
That was
Yeah, we
Ripto,
did those.
and we have to get rid of him.
Had one
He's causing
fucking
all
line
sorts of trouble around here, but I haven't got time to
in
explain.
every damn commercial he was
Take
in.
this magic guide to Avalar. It'll help you begin to understand our
Ripto
worlds.
is an
Right
incel.
now,
Holy
I have
shit.
to follow
He
Ripto and
is.
see what he's up to. I'll meet you in Summer Forest, okay?
Fun fact,
wait a
Ripto was
minute.
the name they came up with because the
How do we get
Japanese
ourselves into these messes,
logos
pal?
for Spyro
Look
looked like Ripto.
They look like Ripto. The Japanese characters kind of look like the word Ripto.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the third game, I think it was
Choice
just a
to begin
source,
this game, not the hub roll, but the actual level.
which is nice. And I think in the third game, you just had a sorceress, but
Yeah, the third game was just
Hi, Spyro! Welcome to...
Also, this game is just like whenever you kill enemies, make their soul. Oh shit. I'm not gonna figure out how to turn this off because if I beat the game on a different save and drop the 100%, to do that, you get the super plane at all times.
oh,
So I want to think about if I want to run like this, or if I want to like scrub my save, my profile, and just like do this again off camera and catch up so I get to the set play the rest of it with regular fire. I'll just think about what I want to do. But I'm supposed to be able to explain of a challenge in this game is to spread out the rope as your power the whole time. Like you, like this is probably something that you personally love because like
oh
you
yeah,
a lot because you like being able to go through and replay the game and feel like powerful and stronger than you were before.
yeah.
And like this is just an example of that where Spyro 2 you get a permanent repeat power that carries over into other stages.
Nice.
So I'm gonna figure out how much stuff I get that. I'll mull that over in my head as we do this first stream. If I do, I'll have that all. Also, take note that in the first game, because of the gimmick with that national monsters, so the gem would pop out. In this game, that's not like a thing. So
Hi, Spyro. I'm a friend of Alora. That
Sure.
means
use their souls to fuel power-ups.
So what you're saying is this is a Souls game for Dark Souls.
Yeah, this is Dark Souls. Like you see that arch up there with the word the number 10 on it?
Yep.
That means I can't use that power up until I release 10 souls. The game calls them
Holy
spirit
shit.
particles, but like they're
That
straight up
sounds like a soul to me.
souls. Yeah, no. Spyro's Dark Souls driving-based platformer.
No, I couldn't help but be reminded of something I was watching earlier today that was talking about the fucking mishaps that they had with the Spider-Man Broadway musical. That for one, before anything even got off the ground, and before the first deal could be signed, one of the big name producers, this guy, I can't remember, but he was basically the guy that was kind of the mastermind behind it and wanted to do this musical.
Okay.
He died of a stroke
Oh, okay.
as they were about to sign papers.
So, you see that because I now have 10 souls, that Superfly power-up up there is active, and I'm supposed to, like, wait till I get to climb up this wall and do the challenge. I'm not going to be able to do it now. Because I have Super Flame,
Right.
I can just do it. I can just
So
do
they-
it from the ground.
Oh. Okay.
So this is what I mean by, like, some of the challenge of this game break. You have Super Flame because, like, you can just do things you're not supposed to be able to do well before you're able to do them.
I would like that, though, personally.
Oh yeah. Like if I was playing for myself, this would not be a problem at all. If I'm playing on stream, I have to consider.
Yeah, it's a little.
But yeah, like.
Thanks for helping me light the lamp, Spyro. For a while, I was afraid we were gonna have.
And now, like, I don't have to climb up here because I'm falling up here to get the orb. Now, like, any treasures up here that I would have to use out on, I can just get them. With the right. And then use this light power and come up here. These treasures I would have also had to satisfy.
So basically, this game does some Metroid shit.
Yeah. There's a Metroidvania aspect where you do acquire over the course of the game. Also, I could just get money back over there if I wanted to. Because of this, if I just did that. But we're not going to do that. Probably going to go to the most disliked character in Spyro trilogy history. Even people think you need more than Ripto, and I don't blame them.
You must
Money
be the
bags?
dragon
Yes.
everyone's talking about.
I think I
dragon
even remember,
or
like,
not,
back in
I'm
the
afraid
day.
there is a small fee to open the bridge.
Because my sister was
It will
really
cost you
into
100
these,
of your gems to cross.
and I remember playing this for myself, And I was like,
Thank
who's
you,
this guy?
Mr.
And my
Dragon.
sister, like, without missing a beat,
Spyro,
she's like,
was it?
oh, that's
You can now
Moneybags. He
use the
sucks.
bridge whenever
Like-
you want, free of
Like,
charge.
for example,
I hope we meet again.
For example,
when you
he
have
knows
even
that I'm
more
trying to
gems.
save his world from Ripto, but he won't let me pass the bridge unless I pay him, even though I'm trying to save his everyone's butt.
And the thing was, I think in the third game, you kind of got some catharsis because...
Oh yeah.
To get a good look
you
around.
you get a good catharsis. Like, they know.
I just remember... I don't remember his name, but there's a penguin in the third game you play as.
Sergeant Bird.
Yeah, and the first thing he does is fucking shoot him.
Literally every, like, there's a whole, like, running gag where Moneybags is holding, other playable characters hostage for the sorceress.
Yeah.
Like, you can bribe him to release the hostages early. And every time they're like, no hard feelings, and then I'm gonna beat your ass because I hate you.
Yeah. Cause fuck
And
him.
every time you feel justified in reveling in his pain. Why is he a bear and not a pig? That's the question. Also, the original, like, this is something that, like, only I and, like, 6 people in the world that aren't speedrunners will worry about, but in the original version of the version of this game, there is a bit of a glitch that, like, I caught myself at a young age, where if you jump, slide, and then hit charge, there was a glitch where you actually got more height out of it. You could use that to sequence break and, like, get a couple of things you weren't supposed to be able to climb over, like, before you get the climb move. Like, it's hard, it's not something you can do, but if I had to skip first, I could reproduce it. Like, if I were to jump and then jump, hit slide, and charge at the same time, you'd actually get, like, a ton of height out of it in the original version. It's very old. And I know why, because that's not, like, that's a glitch, not something you're supposed to be able to do. But it's still like, oh, I want my technical glitch. I want my little secret.
These little lizards have eaten my entire crop of gems. I've tried hitting them with rocks, but they're too fast for me. You can try using one of my rocks. If you have any...
I could use your rocks. I could do that. Or I could just, use the super flame that I got. Because that
Nice
works.
shooting! Great! The super...
But what about yourself? Not the biology school for Spider-Man?
It was plagued with problems, and it became, like, that show did get some success, but was also critically panned. And I don't remember all the details, but there's a YouTube video from a channel called Wait in the Wings that talks about it in pretty good detail, and it's like the big thing, because I remember seeing that on the news when, like, there was an accident with one of the stunt actors. He,
Thanks
like,
for helping
jumped
me light
off
the
of a
lamp,
platform,
Spyro.
fell
A
30
fairy gave me
feet
this
down,
orb, but I like gems better.
had
You take it
multiple
instead.
fractures and injuries. Miraculously, he survived. But it's like, holy shit. Why was that allowed to happen? And, like, it was a shit, like, that whole production was a shit show. And the video pretty much explains why. Also, here's something that's gonna piss you off. So, I was randomly looking through you remember the Infinity Trials, right?
Right.
In Ultimate Alliance? Yeah.
What did they do?
So, you can unlock a black Symbi suit for Spider-Man.
But what do I have to do to get to the end?
So, and this was one of the free things that they put in the game as an update, was there is the Phi Infinity Tree in the game where you unlock, playable characters of Cyclops and Colossus. But the thing is, you have to get all 3 stars in all 10 challenges to unlock the black Symbi suit for Spider-Man. Now that wouldn't be too big of a deal. If it was, now the thing that wouldn't make it too big of a deal is the fact that one challenge is locked until you unlock Thanos, which is one of the shittiest challenges in the game, and even I haven't unlocked him yet.
Oh, great.
And like you need to be like level 80, and the challenge is like level 85, which to me says you need to be at like 95.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck that shit. At least you can play as Venom. Yeah, some of these Infinity Trials, like I said. Oh shit, yeah, there was another rift that they added that I have not attempted anything on because fuck the levels that you have to be at to do these.
Really how much of having different planes has been great. Like a lot of things with this game.
That kind of makes me want to play it again.
Worse is even better is that different planes can be used underwater.
Oh.
So like it's especially game breaking because like you have to get the green fire, like you have to be able to use the plane breath and water and stuff with the plane. So that gives you like that much more
Nice.
freedom to kind of deploy around and sequence break when you're not supposed to be able to.
Wow.
Yay! You've saved my crop of gems from the...
I do like that like, each thing has like a reason for having more in the pocket. And give it to you. Like one guy was like, take this orb. I like gems better if you can have it.
Sure.
Sure,
Why
give it to
not?
you, I like gems better. Not at 100%. Well, I'm not people 100% this level yet.
Spyro, thanks for helping us fight off the lizards. Please take this talisman of glimmer as a sign of our gratitude.
Oh yes, the talisman. Only come into play in the first 2 or 3
This
months.
magic portal next to me will take you to Summer Forest, one of the home worlds of Avalar.
Something that's also kind of sad is the fact that I think Moneybags would also show up within the Skylanders games.
Naturally.
So even still, he was extorting the shit out of people
As he does. As
with
he
a
does.
game that was already trying to get you to spend your parents' money on shit.
Yeah, spending
If you-
yeah,
for
spending
child.
game currency too, because this was back when Insomniac didn't realize that people don't want to have to like pay to advance the plot,
Right.
like pay in like in-game currency.
His Moneybags Bobby Kotick's persona.
Yes.
Oh no.
Probably.
Now, I actually don't like
Oh,
the
hello.
direction they took this.
We didn't
scene
get a
in
chance
the
to
remake.
introduce ourselves
Um,
before. My name is Alora.
If you
hi.
if you
I'm
look at the
Spyro.
original scene, the
What are
PS1
you,
version
some
of the
kind of
scene,
goat?
I'm a fawn,
it's still very
you
much
dork.
Spyro and Laura
Oh,
like
sorry.
kind of dancing around each
Did
other,
you
not
mean
really
the
getting
gem
knowing each
cutters
other
in
yet
Glimmer?
because they just met.
Yeah, they gave me
Right.
a souvenir too.
Whereas
they called
in
it a
this game,
talisman.
in this version, they seem
gave
very,
you a
very
talisman?
friendly right off the bat.
What is it special?
Which is not an invalid
I just
way of
stuck it in
doing
the
it, it's just a
guidebook you
different
gave
way
me.
of doing it.
Well, there are 14
And I
talismans in
remember-
Avalar, and they're
Prefer
all
the original
magical.
one where
If
like
we
they're
can
still
collect
kind
enough
of
them,
rough
they can
around
be
the
used
edges
to
up
defeat
until about
Ripto.
the midway point of the game.
I still remember
where have
thinking
you
that
been?
was one of the funnier things I had seen at the
got
time when
a
like
little lost.
shows up
Spyro's
and like
gonna help us collect
and
the
you as the
talismans.
player like
I
even
am,
like
yes.
me as a player
Spyro,
seeing the character, you know,
There's
the
no way
you
you
know
can
the
get to
PS1
Dragon
models
Shores
being
right
as
now.
primitive as they were at the
Ripto and his
time,
monsters have taken
being
over
like,
the
you know,
castle
what
here in
is
the
she
Summer Forest.
actually? And I
We're
think it
going to
was
have
just
to
the
go
way
to
so they could
Avalar's
tell the
world.
audience
Yeah.
like I'm a
Convince the
fawn, you
inhabitants to
dork.
give you
What
their
are you, some
talisman.
kind of goat?
You can keep
I'm
them
a
in your
fawn,
guidebook.
you dork.
Hey, I could do that.
Whereas in this game,
Why
they
doesn't
play it
the
off as much
dragon
more like a
just
friendly,
torch
like
Ripto?
banter
Hunter, you
where it
can't
was
even
in the
keep
original
track
was
of
more
your
like, I
running
don't know who
shoes.
you are,
How
we've
can
just
we
met.
trust you with 14
Yeah.
I really
talismans?
need you to understand that I am a stranger
if
to
you
this
come
world.
across
I don't know
any
any of you
orbs,
people,
they're
and I
important
need to
too.
get to know you before we
But
even
I'll tell
think
you
about
about
doing
them
anything
later.
else.
Okay, no problem. I'll collect
but
a
in
few
this game, they're
talismans,
kind of, they're
give
a lot
Ripto
more,
the old hotfoot, and
like,
be in
immediately
Dragon's
friendly
Shores
to each
by
other.
lunchtime.
Which is not, again, that's not invalid. That's perfectly fine way of doing things. It's just, I prefer the original kind of like standoffishness of it, personally. That's a personal
Yeah.
preference of mine. And that's what I mean when I say I don't like what they did with Allura. Not just her design. Her design is fine. It's more like as a character, she's kind of been sanitized. Maybe is the word I would use.
Not with the art I've seen.
Also, I love that this place just teach you that you can actually like swim above the surface of the water. Like, I don't have sea swimming yet, but in the original Spyro game, this would cause me to drown because Spyro couldn't swim in the first game.
No.
So we have
There
like
are-
a bunch of water in this hub world to let you know that water is safe.
They're
Spyro,
They're a
this
biggest
is the
enemy,
homeworld
basically,
called Summer
because
Forest. There are
people couldn't
portals to
program
many
that
of the
shit.
Avalar worlds around here.
So yeah, that's Lord using talismans of all the levels in order to unlock the boss fight and progress. They say that the denizens of this world, like talismans, are rare things that they're reluctant to part with, but like they part with those things pretty quickly because it's just you being levels with the talisman. So,
they seem like they're fucking everywhere. Like it's
yeah. There are 14 talismans, but there are more than 14 levels in the game, so...
Hey, Spyro. Ripto smashed this bridge, so I
also-
guess you'll have to glide across
I'm
it.
not sure if
Press
I
the jump
like
button,
this
then
Hunter
press
voice
jump
actor
again while you're
or
still in
not
the air
more
to
than
glide.
original. Because they gave him kind of like a surfer dude thing, which is kind of in line with Hunter, but the voice actor, I'm not sure if I am totally down for like just kind of changing the character a little bit. But I guess it's their interpretation. They're free to do whatever they want.
yeah.
I like that orb indicator up there to know that's more challenge up there that you need to do. That wasn't in the original game. They didn't have that. This little indicator here.
Nice, Spyro. You look like you're pretty
It's
agile.
like they learned something
Let's
from
try
game
putting it to a
design.
test. See if you can get up this first step. Press the jump button and hold it down to get more hang
Reminds
time.
me of the whole thing of I don't know how familiar you are with Legend of Zelda.
Okay, not
Ocarina
bad.
of Time.
Now to make this next jump, you'll have to
played
glide.
the 3DS version,
Press the jump button. Then
Okay, so
where they remixed the water temple.
yeah, and the whole
Nice
thing about that,
job.
and like
Now try to do a hover.
actually, yeah, I
Press the
remember
jump
telling you
button,
about this,
then
but
press
like
jump
for the
again to
stream,
glide.
like
when you reach the end of your glide,
there are people
press
that would
the
play that
action
for the
button
first
to
time. It's like,
hover.
I didn't think the water
Hovering will
temple
give
was
you
so hard.
extra
Yeah, that's
height
because
and
they color coded shit in that remake.
Yeah. So this is another move that they introduced that's new to Spyro 2. It's the hover move, where you can do this. Like you can press triangle and mid-flight to get no extra height up at the end of your jump. Where the original doing that same move would just hasten your like make you drop down or drop straight down.
Very
They added
good.
that move
Now
into
for the
the-
hardest leap of all. You'll have to give this one everything you've got. Get a walking.
They added that move to like let you do a bit more, like get a bit more distance at the end of your jump.
Wow, you're a pretty good athlete. If I had.
I feel like that'd be a method for breaking levels, but gotta
I mean,
balance that
if you
shit
design
somehow.
it, or you design the level around you having that as part of your kit, then no.
Well, yeah. That's always the challenge when it comes to
Sorry,
level
Spyro.
design. It's like we can't just let somebody fly.
Yeah. Unless you like give them a specific
Spark.
zone where they are allowed to free
Yeah.
flight for X amount of time. So, like, I don't know why it is, but I replayed Spyro 1 over and over again, but somewhat recently I've tried to replay Spyro 2 a number of times, and I always, like, stop halfway through. And I'm not 100% sure why that is.
Well, I mean, the easy answer would probably be like maybe you just prefer the first game more than the second. But
But yeah, that doesn't like that question would then be why do I prefer the first game over the second? And I'm not 100% sure. I think part of it would be like what I like about the first game is that in the first game you can 100% complete a level for sure when you first drop down, because Spyro's kit never changes in the first game.
Right.
Like we talked about the Metroidvania elements kind of esque earlier. And that was something they added in Spyro 2 that wasn't in the original Spyro game.
Right.
So if you go into a level without a certain move, like in Glimmer, you don't have to climb it, which you don't have to start. You can't 100% level until after you got that move. So like, for me, I hate seeing like 475 in my gems collected. I like seeing even 100 numbers. Or like 428 or whatever out of 500. Like seeing that, oh, I'm missing some does like bother me ever so slightly. So I wonder if that's part of it, but that's can't be the only reason. I can't.
I mean, that could be one
has
thing,
been
but
rampaging around our home.
I don't know.
But
and
we've managed to trap him by shutting all the doors. If you talk
I
to
feel
the
like
other brothers, they will open the gates and guide you to him.
I feel like also there are some people that kind of feel like Spyro 3 kind of loses focus because of the emphasis on the characters.
Like Spyro 3 much as I do in the first two games.
Yeah.
For that exact reason, where like there are a lot like the extra characters do kind of. It's also the problem with the Crash 3 had to a degree as well, where there's so many gimmick levels that like each of the core platformer.
By concentrating, I should be able to open this door for you.
Yeah. At the time, I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was. At the time, I was kind of more easily impressed by a game doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it does this, it does this, it does this. It's like, that. But then again, fucking Adventures of Bayou Billy on the NES did a lot of different things too in one game, and that game's not good.
Even this game, like, they do have a couple more gimmicks. This basically a platformer at its core, and that was what it did the entire time, almost to a fault, aside from like the collectibles.
Who needs a key?
Whereas they do or in this sequel.
Enemies like those yaks are too big to be charged. Your flame attack should easily...
Oh yeah, my flame attack can do anything these days, Zoe.
Like, have you heard? I am OP.
Yeah. This is my OP, do not steal.
Each time you defeat an enemy, it will release a spirit particle. The spirit particles will activate
X-Men Phoenix movie. Holy shit. Hey.
I still can't believe that was this year. I could have sworn I saw trailers for it in 2018, which is why like I seen it last year.
When did this come out? So I want to say this was probably like a... Oh god, no, it was actually in the summer. Came out in June 7th. Like, I thought maybe people forgot about it because maybe it was just put in like the first quarter dumping ground of like February or something. No. This was during the summer season.
I will say that like one of the gimmicks of this level is that the monks' chants will like activate
look what I
platforms
can
and
do.
stuff, and I kind of wish they kept the original game. Whereas it's much more like a monk, which seems like maybe very the original was a little sillier.
As long as the monk chant wasn't something that they based off of some Arabic lyric somewhere.
Oh yeah.
That they would have had to take out.
There's actually like a mod of this game on the PC that like just changes all the sound effects to the original Spyro 2 sound effects from the PS1 game. Like not the voice acting, just specifically the sound effects.
God, I remember that was such a problem for a little while that I've seen like multiple games have to like patch some shit out because they used something from the Quran.
Little Big Planet
or
did
they
that
like
too, I think, at one point. I remember.
Which one?
Little Big Planet.
It did. It did. That one specifically. I remember it was a soundtrack for a level, which they were going for like a Middle Eastern
Even
theme.
though I'm a vegetarian,
but the lyrics
I think you should
were
torch that Yeti. He's pretty tough.
I don't know what exactly it was, but it was something to where it was like, people did not take lightly to it, and I was like, okay, no, we can't leave this in here. We got to take it out.
Ready to fight this Yeti, Chris? You ready to fight him? Ready to fight him?
Sure.
Let's fight him. Good boss fight.
I thought the Yeti was tougher than that.
I mean, that's all that problem.
He was all
now he's
bark.
fucking dead.
Ruff, ruff.
He also released the spirit particle, like he released the soul, like as part of.
Like,
part of that.
here's confirmation that this character's dead.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But we're not done yet, so let's jump over to the window. You can see there's a little platform over here.
I'm trying to think. There was another game that got in trouble for using like Islamic text or something that had to be patched out. And it's just one of those things. It's like, guys, do you not research this shit before you go putting it in? It's like, oh, this looks cool. Let's put that in. Or it was like, was this a placeholder that you just forgot to take out? Like,
yeah, it's more likely it's the latter because that's happened a lot. Like how Last of Us used subway maps that were copyright. This is actually one of my favorite jokes in Spyro 2, where the monks practice the peaceful sport of hockey.
Ah, Spyro, welcome. We have found that hockey is a peaceful and calming sport. Would you like to join in a match against us? You have 2 minutes.
Trying to look for like recent games that had to have like Islamic content. Well, Censored Gaming has a whole video on it.
Little Big Planet's the only one I can really think of
Yeah.
Like that also resonates back to
Well done. Have this.
Okay, and now we do the peaceful sport of hockey.
Would you like to try a game of one? The first to score 5 goals wins.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Apparently in Pilot Wing 64, there's a hidden cave where you can see a texture made from Jesus' face?
big dude. I also love the Spyro.
Okay, apparently also,
Well done. Have this. If you stare at it long
apparently
enough,
also there
you
was a
might not-
bit in some music for a Wii game called Zack and Wiki.
Oh,
That,
I remember Zack and Wiki. I never played it, but I remember playing a review of it.
Yeah, and one level in particular, they had in the music, you actually hear the words Allah Akbar, which is Islam for God is greater. And it's like, people weren't happy about it.
That is weird. Yeah, this power feeling rocket this level.
Man, that's always handy.
Go springboard technique.
Oh, okay, so you can only use it there.
So you're supposed to have to use the rocket over there to, like, confirm to shoot the rocket, it'll fly over and destroy this. Or we can just use our
Wow, that really does break a lot of these.
Yeah, like I'm not kidding. A lot of the game is just straight up like broken when you use flame breath like this. But it lets you sequence break in a lot of ways. Like, and even like not sequence breaking per se, but like starts making so many like parts trivial.
I smell speedrun tech.
I'm sure there's a category for like new game plus in Spyro.
Oh yeah, they do that for a lot of games.
Yeah, well, like, this would be its own category at that point.
Thank goodness you scared that evil spirit away. But now it will hide in the statues. If you were to flame all 10 statues, I'm sure you would chase it away for good.
They are actually part of the challenge.
Which,
you have to flame all
thankfully, they aren't. They aren't defending anybody, so those can stay in.
They're evil statues.
Sure.
So, you know, hockey is a peaceful and calm sport.
Of course it is.
That's the third time I said it, only now do you react to it.
I got distracted looking at shit, but...
Yeah. You know, that peaceful and calming sport of hockey.
Yeah. No one's ever lost a tooth in hockey. In all fairness, well, hockey is known for kind of being as fucked up as it is.
In defense of hockey by Chris Acharya.
Like, I've not heard as much bad shit about hockey as I have, like, the NFL. Which...
I mean, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Where, like, the NFL is just like, come here to die.
Sniper shot from roof to roof.
Oh God. I remember seeing the trailers for that movie Concussion with Will Smith and thinking, oh, this must have been about some old controversy. No, it was about something that happened recently, within this decade.
That's the way of things. The minute the NFL is America incarnate, so no wonder it's fucked up.
Yeah, I remember one of my favorite things from Penn and Teller, back when they did Penn and Teller's bullshit, and they did a whole episode debunking the whole thing.
Very mixed feelings about the modern era.
I mean, like they did an episode on video games that I actually liked, where they kind of debunked the whole myth of, oh, violent video games lead to people doing violence.
They didn't do any good episodes. I'm saying there's a couple episodes that's like I personally don't agree with.
Oh no, absolutely.
Where they really didn't do their research to the same degree.
Yeah, but the video game episode, like, not really so much what they did, but like one thing he says, it's like, imagine if video games came before physical sports. Like, imagine that world where like esports were like the big thing, you know? And then somewhere down the road, somebody invents the game of football. And then you see all these injuries, and then imagine like, oh, would parents still rally against it? Like, oh, football's too dangerous of a sport. This should be banned. Like, you know, imagine that scenario.
Yeah,
But no, it's
yeah.
No, football's a great American pastime. Now go literally break your legs.
Well done, Spyro.
So my lovely wife
spirit away.
reminded me
Why don't
of
you take this?
a South Park
I borrowed it
episode
from the temple.
where if they
don't
wanted to
need
do away with violence in football, they could replace it with sarcastable.
I love this. Take this orb. I bought it from the temple. They don't need it.
Sure, I'm sure they don't. They consented to you borrowing that, right?
Yeah, and just letting me have it.
Wow.
I just got enough gems to learn how to swim in the water now.
Man. Thinking of the whole violence in hockey thing of just... I remember...
I like these. At the end of the original Spyro 2 levels, there was always this little post, like, once you saved the level, like, what was the aftermath of that, and I always love these scenes. I'm sorry, what were you saying?
but like the whole thing of like hockey being considered violent or something, or people having that perception, because you can't blame them for having that perception.
Yeah.
Like I remember when NHL Hits, arcade-style hockey game, which was made by the same company responsible for NFL Blitz, which was one of my all-time favorite football games ever made before they fucked it up. Because it was simple and just kind of leaned into, like, hey, do a suplex on this football player guy, you know?
Suplex the princess near each time. Yes, I agree.
Hello there, Spyro. Would you like to learn to swim underwater? I suppose I could teach you.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I have watched that.
Okay.
I still need to watch
When you
that.
jump in the water, you can use your
I love it. It's a good show.
So now we pay money bags, which allows us to be and just swim with water.
Nice.
Normally you can't breathe fire underwater, but because we have Super Flame,
you can.
Yep.
You can't do that on TV. No, fucking NHL Hits. I remember enjoying that game, and I still have my original copy of it, because the one I have, it was a launch title for the GameCube, and I just remember playing that game and having a lot of fun with it. Like, sports games can be fun when they don't take themselves so damn seriously. But the NHL, after a few years, they're like, hey, you need to tone down the over-the-top violence in this game because you're making hockey look like it's a violent sport. To which everyone else in the world said, you mean it's not?
I hear actually, like, hockey players are surprisingly well enough.
Yeah. But just
like,
that whole thing.
Compared to other athletes, like, hockey players are surprisingly, like, much more chill in real life.
Yeah.
Than you think they are.
But then the whole thing, like even the NFL trying to say, hey, you need to tone down the action in these blitz games because you're making football look like a violent sport. To which everyone again asked, you mean it's not?
People get concussed in the NFL. It's a very common, like, thing.
One of my favorite things was when Midway just said, fuck it, we don't need the NFL license. Let's just make our own thing. When they did Blitz the League, and they just leaned into, like, that game was like how the media shows football. Inject your players with steroids to give them a power boost during a game. Because you can't tell me they didn't. Orb!
So those are the collectibles in this game. We no longer are trying to find dragon daddies, we're instead finding talismans and orbs.
Orb! That's gonna be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm actually curious now, because by now they would have like a schedule.
So there's actually, like, I don't know if this is something you can do in this version, but in the PS1 version, the way that water is coded is that it's actually, like, in-game, it's just a plane. Like this water surface is just a 2D object. And the way it works is when I hit square, it transitions to the other side of the plane, and I'm switched from the solid platforming state to the swimming state. And so there was a glitch in the PS1 version that you had that you could tech into, where you could trick the game into thinking you were swimming above the water. And so you could use that to essentially get flight, more or less, because the game lets you swim in all directions. But if you're not in the water when you're swimming, then you're essentially allowed to do whatever you want in the air. I forget how they did it, but you could use a couple of those trickeries to convince the game to think that as you're passing through the water back up, you're still swimming. And so you were essentially given free flight.
Yeah, I think I've seen people do that on like speed runs and stuff.
You're well on your way, Spyro. Oh.
The PS1 version. I don't know if they brought it with them in the PS2 version or the PS4 version.
Kelly says we need another Mario sports game.
Yeah.
Mario Tennis, for what that game did, that game is a good playing Mario Tennis game. It just sucks that like they did this single player story mode thing, which would have been cool, but was not up to the par of like Mario Tennis single player RPG that we got on the Game Boy fucking Color.
And again, doubling down on the Metroidvania aspect, there's an orb at the top of this ladder and some gems, but I can't get it without
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall.
Like there's a very obvious Metroidvania gate here.
This is kind of funny how like the ability to climb a ladder is something you have to learn.
Yeah. This dragon, he doesn't know how to do two-legged things.
Sure, why not?
And funny, there's actually like a speedrun trick where you can like with the swimming in the air, you can just ignore this money bag cutscene.
Say, Spyro, you see this wall here? I bet you're
Yeah,
dying to know what's
fucking-
on the other side. If only I had a few more. Ah.
That reminds me of a there was a commentary let's play for the Ratchet and Clank games by two people who worked in the development team for those games.
Ah, yeah.
I think it's Mike Calvin and Garcia. If I did. And they talked in the Spyro 2 LP about how in that game you have to do a lot of like paying money to unlock progress. Like you need to pay the computer like 10,000 volts to get the next information for the story.
Right.
And they talked about how it wasn't until like after that game came out that they realized that is a bad design idea. That you don't actually want to literally make one-time players like that.
No.
I did a little challenge here where like pressing this button will open that door and close the other one. So the idea is like, oh, you can't get behind that wall. Where the trick is just to use your hover to glide across the window. And so you can use that to bypass the door and get through the door. But I'm always fascinating in those kinds of design LPs, and when people realize, oh, these things that we took as design principles for years, they're actually really bad.
Yeah.
Nice work, Spyro. The orbs you're carrying have activated the special portal. You won't find a talisman in Ocean Speedway, but if you're fast, you'll get lots of treasure.
I mean, we all knew why a lot of early 3D games had to use fog.
Because it's the save polygon budget.
Not to mention, like, you have to hide the game drawing the actual distance.
Yeah, they don't have to render all of that, more or less.
Oh boy.
And
that just reminds me of, remember the Silent Hill HD collection?
When they got rid of the fog and their like shit?
Yeah. Holy hell. I think I remember playing around with one of these in Spyro 1 and having a little bit of a time with it. Like, I don't know, like I felt like it was kind of a little bit more trickier than it should have been.
Of course, single flame actually is up a lot.
Yeah! Once again!
Projectiles. And we're going to save time by charging down as I go.
Oh god.
Yeah, there we go. And now we've beaten the speedway. But we're not done yet because there's an orb challenge in every speedway.
As you do.
Every speedway has like a secret orb challenge. For this one, I have to
Yeah, back in the day, I didn't give these games the time of day back when Spyro games were initially released because I'm like, oh, this just looks like something for babies, blah, 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 but...
So, each one of these speedway challenges in Spyro 2 has an NPC that's hidden.
I guess now you think you're pretty good. Well, let's see if you're as good as the current champion. All right, Spyro, meet the course champion. In order to win the race, you must fly through all the rings.
We have to go through all the rings. The twist is that Hunter, who is the current range champion of Speedway, will do first, and as he does, they will start to shoot. So those three ones, we have to get through them shortly. Well, pretty basic challenge.
I'm just thinking of like stuff that I was playing on the PS1 at the time. I remember also being really into Metal Gear Solid and like cheating on that game too, and using like a Game Shark to get like infinite ammo and stuff. But the stealth suit was still one of the greatest things in Metal Gear to play around with.
Like the camo suit, the suit.
Oh yes.
I guess the shooting. Icon instead of Meryl.
Yeah. That to me was always more fun.
Of course, you get into really well when you shoot Meryl.
Yeah, I mean, you could get.
You're probably gonna play that game 3 times to get both of them.
Yeah, to get both. Yep.
And then play with your cool kid.
It was just the thing that it was like, it was always super shitty that in order to get the ending with Meryl, you had to fucking
survive the interrogation.
Yeah, I hated that so much.
Don't use auto fire or I'll know.
That was some
The thing is,
flying.
so I knew for a fact that that line was bullshit because he wouldn't know.
He wouldn't know, but I do appreciate that they do try to fluff you.
Yeah, cause I had like a secondary controller that, you know how it is sometimes when you get a new console and when consoles no longer came with a second controller,
yeah,
you saved some money by buying a third-party one.
Mm-hmm.
But the third-party controller's got the turbo switch on it. So
which I made use of back in the day.
So did I, as well as like I played through Metal Gear 1 recently on my PS3, and that thing gives you the option to enable turbo on the buttons.
Yeah.
If you go into the control options for it. It's there.
So I think that will actually probably wrap up our Spyro stream because it's almost time.
Yeah, it is.
And I will decide at some point in the next 2 weeks whether I will replay what we've done so far as much as I'm able to without Super Flame, and just continue on with that without Super Flame, or if we will actually just do effectively a new game plus Spyro.
Because why not?
Because that could be fun too. Like there's nothing that I will say differently. It's not like it'll just probably a little easier. I'm gonna actually just go ahead and do it and just make this the new game plus stream.
Yeah, I would say just do it.
Because fuck it, I earned it.
Yeah, you did.
But thank you for joining me on this misadventure, Chris.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being patient with me because I completely forgot to install the fucking game. Oh boy. And thank you for talking with me about Marvel and the PS1 and all that good stuff as we play through Spyro and Crash. Take care, you guys and the viewers, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.